How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of bourbon barrel aged hopeful goodness in the form of Monday Night Brewing. It's their darker subject matter. Why is it darker? Because they do a base version, and I've reviewed it. You can go back and check that out. I really enjoyed that beer. I didn't go and rewatch my review of it, but I think it's the one where I was like super kind of pumped and jazzed because it was a Core 4 stout that was really delicious. You don't see a lot of Core 4 stouts nowadays. It's all adjunct laden craziness. So it really kind of turned me on, and lo and behold, bum, 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 the sucker finds its way into my doorstep, courtesy of Monday Night. Thank you very much, guys. And I dig their beers. They run the gamut. They do, sour tart, mixed culture stuff, to barrel aged stuff, to English old ales, barley wines, to hazies, the whole nine. But I'm kind of in the mood for a big, robust Imperial Stout. And if this bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout, mind you, and if this is kind of what I think it might be, I think I might be happy because I remember that one being kind of really impactful. Something that could definitely stand up to a barrel. I might even imagine that, saying I kind of hope this finds itself in a barrel. But anyway, maybe I didn't. But we're going to find out if we do like it. So let's give it a whirl. Oh, that beat motor oil, baby. God damn, that's dark. So you're talking about bourbon barrel aged stout. Do they have any other kind of words and stuff? Heavier, thicker, oak. That's all it has written on there, and that's pretty much it. Stout aged in bourbon barrels. Do we get an ABV? Do we get an ABV? We don't. Shit's about to get wild up in here because this could be anything. And label-wise, that's cool. You know, it's got kind of like a weird. It looks like a moth. Like a creepy, weird moth, but it's really just like a face with a bunch of arms kind of all tied up together. So, or you know what? I'm a fucking asshole. It's a fucking bow tie because they hang the ties at Monday Night Brewing. Dumbass. God damn it. Get your shit together, Matt. God damn it. But, I mean, what does that look like? Looks like a big, huge, rich stout. Poured like motor oil. You got that rich kind of what I like my coffee to look like colored head. Stuff into the nose. I mean, it's bourbon barrel aged, I'll tell you that. It's a bit hot. Let's put it that way. The bourbon comes off very fusel. This is just like, it's not burning my nostrils, but I'm definitely getting a big evaporative kind of alcohol portion off of it. There's a bittering to it. There is some kind of there's a red cherried fruit to that bourbon, so that's quite nice. It's one of your favorite, more typical flavors. Not when it comes to bourbon, not really getting a big, huge kind of vanilla thing off it, but I am getting heat. I am getting a big alcoholic evaporative kind of note off of it, and that's pretty much dominating the whole beer at this point. So she smells nice, but just a little bit hot. Let's see what she tastes like. Cheers. I mean, it is to a T when you get in the nose. So you get this nice, rich chocolate roasted maltiness. So you're getting chocolate. It's not milk, but it's not straight bakers. There's a nice bittering to it. It's a nice roasted malt to it. There is a nice soft little vanilla to that bourbon too. Barrel's coming through. Not a huge amount of char. Might be a little bit kind of confusing with that roasted malt kind of merging together. I'm okay with that. That red fruit portion of the show definitely shines the way it did in the nose. But she is hot. I mean, that's the end-all be-all of it. She does have a kind of, the bourbon was a little bit wetter, that barrel. It was a little bit wetter than you normally would put beer into. You didn't kind of pour out the several ounces that were left in the barrel. Just throw the beer in there and it'll be fine kind of thing. That's the kind of way the bourbon's coming off there. So it's a little bit hot. It has a little bit of kind of that ethanol evaporative alcohol thing going on. Not that bad. I'm really curious about the ABV now. If you tell me this is 15-16%, I'm kind of okay with the way it's coming off. If you tell me this is like 11-12%, then I'm like, okay, she's just too hot. Too hot for school right now. She's gonna get there. Needs a little bit of time. Not that I want to age bourbon barrel aged stuff all that long. The more moving parts you have in the beer, the more it can go sideways. So I'm not a long haul ager when it comes to bourbon barrel aged beers, let alone ones that come in cans. But I have another can of this, and I'm gonna hopefully kind of let it sit for about 6 months or so, and we'll see how she kind of hashes out them. Am I gonna do a review? I don't know, but I like it. It's tasty. Now here, let's get to the cusp of the discussion or argument or whatever you want to call it. Is probably one of my least favorite barrel-aged offerings from Monday Night Brewing. Now, you want to take that in context. It's not a bad beer. I actually like it. It's just a bit too hot for me. It's really more a testament to some of their stuff I've really dug. I mean, what was the one that I really... they did a couple really great barrel-aged ones. The ones I really dug have come in bottles. Is it Not a Mischief Managed? I forget what it was. There was a couple. There was a Scotch ale. It was quite nice, but they did like an English old ale. Aged, whiskey barrel-aged, I believe. Bourbon barrel-aged. That was absolutely lights out fucking fantastic. And there's been some really good ones from you guys. So, again, it sounds like kind of a knock, but it's not. And that this is tasty, it's nice, it's a bit too hot for me right now, and I think with a little bit of time, it'll work out to be something awesome. But it's probably one of the, my least favorite barrel-aged offering from the guys, and I hate saying it that way because, I mean, all the other stuff was just that great. That's why it falls into that category. Let's talk about it in general. It's one of the better barrel-aged beers I've had in general. That context, it's definitely worthy of being in a conversation because it's tasty, it's nice and it's impactful where it needs to be, but the heat kind of keeps it from getting towards the top. It's loud in the party, just can't really go in the private VIP rooms. Bag availability, don't know. Monday night, we really don't get distro up here. You get drips and drabs, depending on if they're kind of attending festivals or stuff like that. But I'm lucky enough to have them send stuff off, so take that for what it's worth. Maybe somebody down there in the ATL can let me know what's what and leave you with, if you like what, will you like this beer? If you like bourbon barrel-aged beers and you like them a bit hot. It's well-made beer. It's tasty. It's nice. The beer shows through, even with the barrel being as hot as it is. It just comes off a little bit too boozy for me to really like right now. 6 months down the line, this beer was canned, to give you guys the idea, a month to the day. So July 12th. If you, it has a batch number on it and stuff, I can't really read it, but, let's say you see one of these from July, and it's Christmas time, New Year's of 2019, or later, pick this up. I think you'll be surprised. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little barrel-aged jammer right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.